entertainment. Entertainment. Entertainment.
Just 5 to shoot. Toronto needs to get off his shot. Fires for 3. Drills it from outside.
Look at the playmaking ability of Johnson. Just such a gifted passer.
The Celtics have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That's his first foul. And here in Boston, Bill, the place where you received your master's degree in journalism. Talk about the Celtics at that time in the early to mid-90s.
Well, Larry Bird retired, Kevin McHale retired. They knocked the Boston Garden down.
Ouch.
We were in the lottery for a bunch of years. It was a terrible decade, Kevin. Thanks for asking.
But still a Boston fan, true and true, right? Huh?
Yeah. Well, I grew up, we were doing well, then we weren't doing well. Now we're doing great again. That's the team of the future.
From deep three-point range, the long-distance 3 is buried. And that's now 7 points for D.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load. They're struggling here early. 1 for 5 now. The D has them bottled up so far.
Puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And guys, it's clear, though, he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Outside, Walker. Pass to Tatum. Bill, you're a basketball historian. We know that. Do fans romanticize too much about the past?
I would say the other way. I think they don't appreciate it enough, especially like the millennials and Gen Z. You know you're out there, you're playing this game right now. They tend to think the league started when Kobe showed up and that the 90s and the 80s didn't happen. I sense a real resentment from the younger fans with the LeBron versus MJ thing because LeBron's their guy. They get to watch LeBron. They don't want to hear that MJ was better than him, so they make the case for LeBron and the way things are now. You know?
What about like the Oscar Robertsons, the Elgin Baylors, and we talked about, my goodness, you talk about some of these players. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the
fantastic
60s,
numbers.
70s, 80s.
Oh.
I think part of what hurts is people can go on YouTube and when you watch some of the older stuff, nobody's playing defense.
Wow, wonderful court awareness that time. You can count on Walker to find the open man.
Launches it. Gets the three-pointer to fall. D's got 12 in the game.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from D.
And Walker kicks to Williams. Tatum on the wing. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Yeah, the footwork, the positioning. Tatum's a difficult cover inside.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. No good on the free throw.
And what you love about Tatum is
there's 10 seconds left in the first. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
And that one misses. And he's good on the second. 6 seconds left to play in the first. Stolen. And so it's Toronto bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We come back right after this. Now a veteran in the NBA, Serge Ibaka, talked about his role on this team.
I like to do all those little things, running up and down, blocking shot.
And Ibaka, Greg, a great complementary player.
And you like his combination of size and skill, able to impact the game at both ends on a high level.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, how many coaches say we want to start fast? Now let's see if they can maintain that intensity.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court right now for the Celtics. Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. Williams is out there with Hayward, and it's Poirier in at the center position. Here's Hollis Jefferson against New Orleans, who is really on his game. The pass to D. 5 to shoot. Lets it go with a 3. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7. Bill, you wear so many hats, writing, producing, performing. You're running the ringer, which is highly successful. What role satisfies you the most?
I would say working with young people and trying to help them get better. I think that's the coolest thing you can do, especially if you feel like you've done some good stuff and accomplished some things and realized some dreams. Like the next thing to do is just to, can you help other people get to where they should be?
Well, a lot of this wasn't around when you and I were growing up. So
No.
what were your dreams?
My dream initially was just to write a sports column that people read. That's what I wanted forever, yeah. And then the most satisfying thing is just not knowing what's next, but taking chances and hoping things are going to be fun and work out. you have to have a good team around you, and you have to have like 6 or 7 awesome people that you completely trust who can help you do stuff, because it's impossible to do everything yourself, especially if you're trying to increase the scale of what you're doing. And I think that even works for an NBA organization. You know, it's not like one person running everything. I would say putting a good team around you is the most important thing.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can't blame the ref for making that call at all. The defense in general is already at such a disadvantage as it is.
Smart's checked in for Kemba Walker. And then for Toronto, Pascal Siakam comes in for OG Anunoby. And it's Stanley Johnson in for Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Smart misses.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Here's D, and it's blocked. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. Enes Kanter's checked in for Boston. Williams comes in for Robert Williams. And Toronto also making a switch. Marc Gasol's checked in for Serge Ibaka. We're closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second quarter. D, guarded by Smart. Shot clock at 5. The shot comes out, so the Celtics will take it the other way. Coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
You've got to be locked in on the road. I mean, when there's no cohesiveness on defense, you're in danger.
Here's Hayward, and Hayward at the stop.
And this is what you want. I mean, out in the open court, Hayward gives you so many options as a finisher.
Bill, you host your own podcast. I've listened to it. I subscribe to it. I love it. What do you make of so many NBA players now doing the same thing?
We have a couple of them. At the Ringer, we have J.J. Redick, we have Vince Carter and Kent Bazemore. The ones that are good at it take it seriously. It can't be one of those things where, a player says, you know what, I want a podcast, and then it just magically happens. Like, you got to work on it. You have to use your connections and book your guests, and you have to be candid on the podcast. You can't just show up and just dabble. And the guys that have been successful at it are people that could probably have a media career for a living. Like JJ is clearly going to go into media after he retires. Richard Jefferson had a great podcast. He's gone into media. He's really good. Yes. So I think we need a little more talent at it than people realize. And you need the consistency of it. You can't say, I'm starting a podcast and then not do it for 2 months. Like, you have to really stick to it.
Tatum, he's checked in for Boston. Smart with the ball. 8 points his last outing. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. It's Brown on the wing. There's the 3. Good, and Smart gets the assist. 6 points for Jaylen Brown. Bill, if you were building a franchise from scratch, which one current player would you begin with or build around?
Probably Giannis, because he's
still
turning
young
25 this year. I still feel like the ceiling of what he's going to do is go up as he becomes more of a shot maker. He's really durable, which I think is underrated. Like, he's just built to play basketball. There's certain guys like that. I think Kevin Garnett was like that. Mm-hmm. Tim Duncan was like that. Just guys who you just know are going to be around for 17, 18 years. The way I like to watch the running styles, and the game just comes so easy to him. He's so athletic and really cares and is really competitive and just wants to do this and win at basketball. That's how I play.
The Raptors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Raptors making a change here. Powell's checked in. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Celtics trail by 7. Tatum on the wing. The 3. Siakam pulls it in.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
From deep. Headshot off. Now Boston takes it the other way. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
And we saw how competitive and entertaining the season series was between these two terrific teams last year.
But it's always a marquee matchup on the schedule. I think it's going to be another fun set of games between them this year.
Here's D. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Smart.
Well, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
The Raptors shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. And the first one drops. Daniel Tice is checked in for Williams. And he makes both free throws. Boston's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Now Smart. .157 left here in the second. Pass to Ganner. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 3 assists now in this one.
Oh, the assist by Smart, and I think his playmaking is coming along.
Here's D. Siakam, right side. Passes it to D. There's 1:34 left now here in the second. And again, no good by Toronto. Well, Bill, yet another engaging conversation. Thanks for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Yeah, next time let's talk about the hard salary cap. I think the people really love that. Yeah, I have some ideas.
You would make it
I
interesting.
have some luxury tax ideas. Yeah, we'll get super technical.
I would be here for that. You know, Greg, Bill Simmons has worn so many hats as a writer, a podcaster, a broadcaster. Now, it's nice to let him wear one more on our broadcast.
He's been successful for a reason, Kevin. There's a fearlessness, but also great humor in his perspective.
Now here's Smart. He's guarded closer. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
And checking out numbers for Smart. How he did last season. Averaged about 9 points per game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Not bad numbers, but for a player of his talent, you have to think he can do more.
No doubt. He's been inconsistent. Unusual for him, though, but when he turns it back around, watch out.
The Celtics making a switch here. Walker's checked in. And Toronto also making a switch. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Stanley Johnson. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And it's Gasol with the rebound. Raptors leading by 7. Here's Powell. Rebounded by Smart.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Walker. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Now, you can't tell me Walker is not one of the most fearless penetrators in the league. The D sometimes has no chance but to foul hard.
That's good from Walker. Serge Ibaka is checked in for Toronto. Kemba Walker hits them both.
Oh, you can get spoiled watching him at the line. I mean, you just expect him to make every one, every time.
From deep three-point range, and he's good on the 3-ball. 30 points for D.
He's pulling out all the tricks this quarter. They can't figure out how to stop him.
It's stolen. Fast break Toronto. And Siakam throws it down.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Now, here's Walker. It could go, and that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Toronto going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And don't go away. Whoop.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here.
We're watching the NBA half. Toronto came out looking very finishing 10 points up at the half. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this over to the second half. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Boston?
Well, they're facing a team.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. We're seeing tremendous gameplay from deep.
And if he can keep shooting from deep like he did in the first half, he's going to be more than a handful.
Yeah, the defense didn't do a very good job of staying connected to him. We'll see if they make an adjustment.
And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Norman Powell is out there with D. And it's Johnson in at the three. And the Toronto Raptors knew in trading for Kawhi Leonard that he might not stick around. Even after his decision to return to his hometown of Los Angeles, Greg, the Raptors have to feel good about the way it all worked out for him.
Kevin, the first championship in franchise history. And now they set about working their way back to the mountaintop. Some talented young players and quality vets, not to mention an outstanding front office. I think it'd be a mistake to count them out.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. There were thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened. There's no doubt, DA. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. And the Raptors call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes. A new group in now for the Raptors. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Gasol. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Pascal Siakam. OG Anunoby's checked in for Johnson. And it's D in for Powell. And the layup's good off the glass. D's got 38 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Pass to Tice. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Well, that's 3 straight German League titles for Daniel Tice. I mean, before he made his NBA debut at the age of 24, he's an athletic two-way player. He's shown he belongs.
That's good from Tice. And last season, Daniel Tice shooting over 40% from long range, and Chris over 75% around the rim.
Yeah, Kevin, when you call that great efficiency, both inside and out. New contract this summer. The reward is terrific play.
Here's D. A shot, no good. Now Boston takes it the other way. Following this game, they hit the road. They'll take on the Knicks in New York. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Toronto leading by 11. Anunoby passes to D. Back to Anunoby. Toronto working the ball around now. We've got 1:23 left in the third quarter. 6 to shoot. Here's Hollis Jefferson, defended by Tice. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. And a look now at the Boston Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Saturday, they'll tip off a road trip in New York where they'll take on the Knicks. And then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. And here's Walker. 24 points for him. There's the lob to Brown. The lead now in single digits. Toronto's got more than a 50% success rate on their three-pointers since halftime. They're 4 of 7. And yes, it's good. D's got 40 points.
Well, with the role he's on this quarter, they're going to keep going to him and get that lead even bigger.
54 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Walker. There's the steal. Here's D, and he dunks it down.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
What a performer this guy is. He relishes the chance to hammer it down.
Walker looking for an opening. Hayward outside. This one for 3. Toronto grabs the miss. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's D. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And no doubt about it, in order for them to be successful, he has got to be a catalyst when it comes to scoring.
Celtics trail by 15. Walker with it. Another steal. Up top, Ibaka. Over to the left wing. Here's Van Vliet. And again, it's Toronto converting.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
Yeah, the defender just couldn't quite close the gap all the way and got burned for it.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, it's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding play right there.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Van Vliet's gone 50% so far. 2 of 4 shooting. Brown and Hayward, they're the wing. Then there's Daniel Tice. And there's Kemba Walker. And it's Poirier in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the Boston 5.
Oh, they get away with it here, but that's not a shot you should ever be giving him.
D, defended by Tice. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Chris, of the guys you went against and played against, who would have benefited from today's style of play the most?
Oh, man, I got a few names. Billy Owens. Billy Owens, to me, was a guy like a Kevin Durant. No, he couldn't shoot like that, but he did everything on the floor for us there in Golden State. And I think in today, an open game for him where he could get going, oh, man, that would just be incredible. I also think of a guy like Detlef Schrempf. He could post up, he could pop and pick, he could shoot the ball deep, he could shoot off the dribble, finish on the break, whatever you wanted, he could give it to you that way. And I think for both guys, that size, that sweet spot, 6'7", 6'8", but play like a little bit of a guard, those two guys come to mind.
Now here's Hayward. He's covered closely. 5 on the clock. And a wide open look for Walker. A three-pointer is right on target. Walker's got 15 points in just the second half. D, guarded by Walker. Ibaka. rebound by the Celtics. Tice has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Hayward on the wing. And here's Walker outside. Rebound by the Raptors. They led by as many as 18 points. Here's D. Hangs in the air. He lays it in. D's got 47 points.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Celtics trail by 17. Left side Walker. Some solid defense from Ibaka. D, guarded by Smart. Hollis Jefferson passes to D. Down low, it's tipped. Here's Ibaka. Here's D. It's tipped. They get it back. From the arc. And another one falls.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. And we're about 2 minutes into the 4th quarter now. Smart finds Tice. And here's Walker outside. Boston, no good that time either.
He just can't find the touch this quarter. He's got to keep grinding, though, and looking for the best shot possible.
Here's D, trying to get open as Ibaka. It's good. D's got 52 points.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Now Smart. Now a timeout called by Boston. And Greg, last season, the best scoring average of Serge Ibaka's career.
Even with a down year as far as his three-point shooting, Ibaka's still very efficient, getting more of his offense around the rim, playing some at the 5.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Cantor checked in for Daniel Tice, and it's Tatum in for Gordon Hayward. Then for the Raptors, Marcus Alls checked in for Ibaka. And it's Johnson in for Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Out to the right wing. And here's Walker outside. It's hauled in by the Raptors.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
For Boston, they've gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the 4th quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. 4th quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Smart on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. They need this. Walker's shot is off.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Awful display for him so far. But you know he's going to keep working to try to turn it around.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Right side, Williams. Tatum against Johnson. Releases from 15, and there's the bucket from Tatum.
The height, footwork. No wonder Tatum's knocked down mid-range from there.
Raptors leading by 22. Here's D. Good, he hits again.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. And with a younger generation of fans cutting the cord, Adam Silver has talked about ways, Chris, to make the games, the NBA games, more accessible.
Yeah, and as a guy, Kevin, that played on the West Coast, I know many people aren't happy with this idea, but I say move the games up an hour. Move it to 6 o'clock so that I can watch LeBron on the West Coast when I'm living on the East Coast and be to bed by a normal time where kids can stay up. But how about the streaming? I mean, you can watch it on your phone. It's so many better in different ways now. I mean, before, if you were traveling, you could never watch a game because you had to be by a TV set stuck into a wall. Now, you got your phone, your pads, and everything else. So I love the game. It's becoming more global because of the expansion and how we've gotten players out there in front of fans. And now, with the access that fans have through some type of mobile device, I just love it. I love it.
Now here's Walker. For the three. Here's Cantor. The shot off that time, and Toronto will come the other way.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Toronto.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one and then do it again, and that strategy did work.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for D.
I mean, he had a plan for how to attack the D. He executed and never let up. Relentless offensive basketball.
Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 63 points for D.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
No, because it's gone dead silent in this arena. What a fantastic performance here on the road.
1:02 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Wanamaker. And the call will be against D. That's foul number 2 for him. There's 48 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Buries the long-range jumper.
Now that is encouraging. It's crucial that Langford continues to hone that outside jumper.
A baseline J, and the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Oh, Greg, that's the dagger. You could tell they wanted that one. I know that seals the deal.
Here's Wanamaker. It's blocked. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's McCaw. Makes it off the glass.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Showing remarkable poise and focus throughout the game. A sustained effort across the board.
Langford dishes to Williams. Kicks to Langford.
Come on, shoot!
The pass to Ojale. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Wanamaker, and Gasol sends it back.
Wow, trying to challenge Gasol, big-time two-way player. He gets it done on both ends.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and...
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long. And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for the challenge ahead. Hoping to come out of the gates strong. Nightfall in the Windy City with the Willis Tower and the rest of downtown Chicago lighting up the sky. Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action. Coming to you live on this Saturday night. Joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. And a chance now to look at the schedule for the Raptors. On Monday, they'll go back home and will be hosting the Orlando Magic. Then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons.
And for that game against the Kings, I think it's going to be an interesting challenge. Even though they expect to come out on top, this could probably be a pick'em game, depending on how they play.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Powell is out there with D, and it's Johnson in at the 3. And for Chicago, Porter and Markkanen, the duo at forward. White and Levine team up in the back. And it's Carter in at the 5 spot. And Smitty, what about the teams that know they're going to be championship caliber contenders? How do they stay motivated early in a season with so many games to play?
You know, it's hard. I think a lot of those guys, they're looking at, I would say now we're talking about load management for those type of teams. They're just trying to make sure their bodies, their mind.
Oh, goodness.
Terrific.
Wow. Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. White dishes to Levine. Powell pulls it in. Here's the Raptors with the ball. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Jim Boylan. Defensively, he wants his guys to protect the rim and do everything they can to push the offense out to the perimeter. He told me if we can do that, I feel good about our chances. Now, guys, obviously that's a tall order, but he's trying to get his guys to get geeked for the challenge.
Thank you, David. We're about 1 minute into the first. And here's Levine, who brings it up for the Bulls. 4-point game. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
It was really that second wave in the rotation that took the offense to another level.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Toronto shooting their first free throw tonight.
Well, last season, a season of change for the Bulls. They missed the playoffs with a 22-win season, and they did have a change of head coaches. Not the results many hoped for going into the year.
Inside, here's Powell. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
A lot of enthusiasm to the start of this game. So far, a perfect 4 for 4.
First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Knocked loose, out of bounds, Bulls ball. Chicago keeps possession. Many, as you said, the Bulls were a pick by many to compete last season.
Yeah, and this team, they continue to tinker with this roster. They made the trade for Otto Porter to be a part of their future. And you know what? The rebuild continues on.
Pass to Markkanen. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
This shows Markkanen's understanding of the game. You play me to shoot from the outside, well, I'm going inside.
To the paint, here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
It's a backbreaker for your defense, giving up easy buckets like that.
Levine against Powell. On the wing, Levine. 38 points for him last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And a lot of those points came at the free throw line, really because of his aggression. He was playing the game with force, always catching his man on his heels.
And it's good for 2.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. White looking around. Now Levine. Clock at 6. Markkanen can't get it to go.
Great defensive effort, just saved a basket.
You know what? This is why you never give up on a play. You don't know what's going to happen.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Bulls trail by 10. Outside, White. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And the Raptors took some heat for parting ways with reigning Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey. But his successor, Nick Nurse, guided this franchise to an NBA title.
Tremendous self-belief and determination. The only NBA head coach who was also a head coach in college, the G League, and overseas. He's been preparing for this for a long time.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Good on the bucket. White's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, attacking the interior is something White does well. He's crafty, and he makes good adjustments against the defense.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
The Toronto Raptors are an elite defensive group. Reasons why they're long, they're smart, and they're experienced.
D, he's checked in for the Raptors. 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Done outside. Toronto grabs the miss. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
You know what it is? That's good.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors with a 14-point lead as we bring the quarter to a close. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. And we'll be right back after this. And let's listen to...
You come in every day. Guys in the gym every single day. So I...
And Greg, when everyone is working hard, it builds a chemistry.
And a culture. Kevin, winning teams all have it. It's not enough to be here. You want to win.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a very convincing performance from the Raptors so far.
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
You know this, the team that dictates the pace typically rules the roost. We see that here early on.
Young and Carter are the big men inside. Dunn is out there with Thomas Satoransky. And it's Valentine in the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
The versatility of Wendell. He can shoot off 1 to 2 dribbles as well as off the catch.
A shot. And another basket for Toronto.
Completely on his game. Hasn't missed a shot all night. A big part of why this team is winning.
And the call will be against D. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Chicago. Otto Porter Jr., he's checked in for Valentine. Dean comes in for Satoransky, and it's White in for Dunn. Then for the Raptors, Marc Gasol's checked in for Ibaka. Pascal Siakam comes in for OG Anunoby, and it's Johnson in for Rondé Hollis Jefferson. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. White down low, covered by Van Vliet. Levine wide open. The Bulls keep it alive. White the pass to Young. Back to White. Shot clock at 6. Misses off the right iron.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's D. And he drops in the layup off the glass. D's got 15.
I mean, he is tearing the defense apart, and let's face it, they have not brought their A game on that side of the ball.
Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. And just like his brother Powell, Marcus active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Mark doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And you look at Wendell Carter Jr., the center out of Duke. Fantastic blend of size and mobility. A lot to like about what he can do.
And with Wendell Carter Jr., we saw flashes of his potential last season.
Easy to see why he was a snap pick at 7 for the Bulls back in 2018. As he gets more comfortable in his role and his teammates lean on him, he could be a force. And that's a special play coming from the one spot.
You know, his passing can take a backseat for that dunk. Wow.
It just shows you the versatility. This guy can do a lot of different things for you. Woo-wee!
Now here's Levine. He's guarded closely. Got a piece of it. Outside White. Outside Levine. Just 5 on the clock.
Shoot it!
And a missed layup.
He is so good attacking the rim. It's rare to see him denied like that.
Here's D. And it's sent back by Carter.
That time, Carter's length and vertical paying dividends. He has tremendous potential as a rim protector.
And yeah, he's not messing around. He wants no part of a comeback in this one.
Reason why momentum can flip so quickly. We see it time and time again. Teams giving up big leads.
Outside Porter. Over Siakam. And he overshot that one, missing.
Well, he's going to have some explaining to do on the sideline about why he took that shot.
Low percentage chance. If it's not there, give up the rock. Trust your teammates.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Chicago Bulls continue to be a team in rebuild mode. They traded for Otto Porter at the deadline last season, and that seemed like a turning point. It lessened the logjam in the front court, and his versatile game fit well with some of the young players. Now that they've added rookie Kobe White with other moves this summer, fans are eager to see this young team take the next step. Kevin?
And David, they've got some pieces too. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's going to be payback. Levine matching threes and making plays.
Toronto calls timeout. Steve, we're seeing teams around the league putting up a lot of three-point shots. I'm sure you would have enjoyed playing in this era so much with that green light shooting three.
I would, Kevin.
We've got 13 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Markkanen. Dunn, wide open, he fires, bangs home the trifecta. Dunn's got 4 this quarter.
The height to see over the defense and the unselfishness. Terrific pass by Markkanen.
Got the shot! He
Just
caught it!
no better feeling to be able to deliver in a moment like that.
Yeah. And you see his teammates love it. They love it.
That's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think that shot had...
And so it's the Toronto Raptors with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, it's Toronto with the advantage at the half. They're leading by 16. Kenny?
Boy, it was rough down there.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now...
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. We're seeing tremendous gameplay from D.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
And it's not like everything's been at the rim. There's been a number of jump shots along the way.
And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Norman Powell is out there with D. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. Valentine passes to White. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. White's got 6 points.
Great pass to set your man up with a high percentage look.
Toronto leading by 14. And Valentine over to help. D. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, last season, Pascal Siakam more than doubled his scoring. Dramatic improvement as a shooter from the perimeter and the line.
And he makes the first. And we've seen his shooting improve. But Siakam also very dangerous off the bounce.
Yeah, reason why, Kevin, he's becoming a great ball handler. They trust him to press the attack and to get into the lane.
And White kicks to Levine. Valentine with it. Johnson's there. It's stolen by Johnson. To the inside. And stolen by White. In transition, here come the Bulls. Levine with the ball. Carter outside. Back to Levine. Five to shoot. That's tipped. Valentine passes to Markkanen. Off target with his three.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Powell for three. It's good from long range. 10 points for him.
Oh, that's great awareness. That's a great pass. Credit Siakam and the work he's done to understand where everyone is in this offense.
Passes to Markkanen. Back to White. Feet away. That one good for two. White's got 4 points this
times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Toronto leading by 17. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. And he gets it to go.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
The reason why they've stayed aggressive, and they have not let up this entire night. And at this point, I wouldn't expect them to.
On the wing, Levine, guarded by Powell. Shoots it up. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. And it's 8 points for Zach LaVine.
Doing great things at the offensive end. 3 for 4 to start this half.
And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
And here's LaVine, who brings it up for Chicago, trailing by 19. Over in the corner, White. His three-pointers off the mark. The Raptors have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Johnson, the pass to D. And he jams it with authority.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Chicago's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And there's the pass to Markkanen. Outside, Levine. Fires from deep. Nailed from three-point land. Levine's got 5 points now this quarter.
Nice form, the elbow right in line. Zach LaVine has a fantastic looking shot.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Sometimes, Smitty, you see someone make a pass and wonder, how did he even see that guy? I mean, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul leads that list. I think from a big Jokic, Trae Young is a young guy, Ben Simmons, Doncic, those guys see the floor extremely well.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Young's checked in for Lowry Markkanen. Satoransky comes in for Valentine. And it's Dunn in for White. Dunn passes to Carter. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
And even as a rookie, you could see the consistency game to game from Wendell Carter. Very dependable on the glass and on the scoreboard for a player so young.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
And 79% from the line a season ago. Pretty consistent there as a free throw shooter.
Carter hits them both. And with Carter, he's only going to get better over the years.
The upside is easy to see. He always finds ways to contribute to this team. Not sure if he'll be a star, but he'll be a rock on the offense and defensive end for a long time.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
An uncontested shot at the rim, you have to compete at all times.
And again, Chicago, no good. Toronto leading by 20. D passes to Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
Aggressive move from Siakam, putting all that length and athleticism to work.
Chicago has gone 6 of 14 with the three ball tonight, just a little over 40%. Dunn dishes to Young. Satoransky looking around. Kicks it to Levine. Thaddeus Young on the wing. Leans from outside. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Hollis Jefferson's got his fourth rebound in this one. Pass to D. .106 left in the third. Looking for Carter. He gets it there. For Chicago, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Dunn kicks to Young. Satoransky, the pass to Young. Unloads from 13. Siakam pulls it in. Siakam's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. With the teardrop. And he sinks the layup.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Satoransky. Count it, good.
And so far going for more of an inside presence here in the second half, getting away from the three-point shot.
Lowry Markkanen's checked in for the Bulls. White comes in for Dunn. Then for the Raptors, Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Anunoby. Norman Powell comes in for Rondé Hollis Jefferson. And it's D in for Fred VanVleet. Inside, it's Young and Markkanen. White is out there with Satoransky. And it's Levine in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. The shot's good.
These are big buckets. He's been instrumental in helping them try to close out this game.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Ripped away. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. The Bulls have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. That shot off the mark. Ibaka with some nice D.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Here's D. Siakam inside. Young's there. He gets that one.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Levine against Johnson. And Levine, here we go.
Oh, okay. The creativity, extreme athleticism. You see why Zach's won the dunk contest multiple times.
Ibaka outside. He is looking for Siakam and finds him.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That's foul number 2 for him. Speed for players' success. So Chicago ends up going with a new group. Here's Johnson. Passes it to D. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And Raptors president of basketball operations, Masai Ujiri, not just doing an amazing job in Toronto, he's also had a huge role in the growing of the game in Africa.
Growing up in Nigeria, he fell in love with the game of basketball, and he has worked his way up. Now he's given a hand back, building pathways for others to follow in his footsteps, bringing the development and leadership to the continent.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Felicio's checked in for Young. And it's Chandler Hutchison in for Levine. Both shots good from the stripe.
The Toronto Raptors knew Kawhi Leonard might leave, but plan B is to build around their young players. They've got some good ones, in my opinion.
White the pass to Hutchison. Back to White. There's the triple. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
And you have got to honor White on the perimeter. Once he gets comfortable from there, it's going to be bad news for the defense.
You know, the Raptors have done a great job of finding quality players, Steve, late in the draft and developing them into contributors.
Yes, Kevin, and one of those guys is Fred VanVleet. He went undrafted. A long rebuild was never in the cards for Toronto. They're competing as those young guys develop.
2 minutes, 2 clock. Here's Hutchison. 6 to shoot. Over Siakam. That doesn't fall. Can't drop his first shot. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. From deep. Offensive rebound. Here's Ibaka, and Ibaka slams it in.
Excellent timing on the offensive glass, and Ibaka takes advantage of the second chance opportunity.
1:43 left in the fourth quarter. And so White will bring it up for the Bulls. Stolen away. Thomas passes to D. But they get it back. Ibaka finds Johnson. Now Thomas. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Markkanen pulls it in. Well, Chicago's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Toronto.
As one-sided. it gets today. You know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for D.
Ooh, he put on a clinic tonight. Terrific vision, sees the whole floor, and he hits guys in their spots with pinpoint dimes.
From deep three-point range. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Knocks down the 3-ball. D's got 47 points.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
And guess what? It's going to be a fun flight home. Total team effort. Big win on the road.
Here's White. It's deflected.
And what you like about Siakam as a rim protector, the strong fundamentals, able to affect shots without fouling.
Here's D. Done with some nice D. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a It's never easy to win on the road in the NBA, and by the look in the eyes of the Orlando Magic players, they know they've got a job ahead of them. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The skyline of downtown Toronto really looking wonderful tonight. It's a beautiful evening here on the shores of Lake Ontario. Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K Sports. Can't wait to get some NBA action going. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. And they'll have some minutes to make up for with an injury in their roster.
And for Marc Gasol, they're missing a quality player. Injuries a big part of the game. They just got to make the adjustments.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
For a long time, the Raptors playing in Canada was seen by some as a detriment to their competitive prospects. Players dealt with issues like passports, different money, going through customs, and on and on. But now the Raptors use it as a strength, not as a weakness. They have a whole nation.
And the game is going global. You're right. Thank you, DA. Clark up front. That's where the game will likely be won or lost in this one.
Great talent, no doubt, on the front lines here. But if for some reason they cancel each other out, then you know where it's going to be decided, in the backcourt, with guys about your size, Kevin. Now,
wait a minute. A look at the Magic starting group. Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. And it's Isaac in at the 3 slot. And for Toronto, Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. D out there with Powell. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. And so off the tip, it's Toronto. D, guarded by Fultz. Rebounded by Vucevic. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Orlando Magic. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
Yeah, those ropes.
Wow. Are you? Oh, my goodness. You know, Terrence Ross is a former dunk contest champion. Ross has major levitation time.
And good that time.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Fultz with the ball. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And his rebounding was solid in that effort as well. He did a lot of work on the glass. All around, just his effort level was off the chart.
Siakam finds Johnson. Drains the three-pointer.
And good to get him going early. That shot should give him some confidence.
Perhaps he's set for a big night. I mean, he can be a difference maker for him when he's on his game.
Now here's Fultz. High post Vucevic working on Ibaka. Shoots from the baseline, and the jumper is good.
Yeah, and you know, it's important that Fultz continue to develop his in-between game because he knows when to pull up. And, you know, after a drought of 6 years, the Magic made the playoffs last season. Won 4 straight at the end to grab the 7th seed.
And the shot goes down.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is, that's a tough shot.
Here's Fultz. The Raptors getting the bucket. Pass to Ross. 6 on the shot clock. The Magic need to get a shot off here. From deep. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Mark, you look at Orlando's breakout season. They won 42 games after winning just 25 the season before.
And you look at the roster, lots of length. And you really have to love their young nucleus. A lot of good players that are getting better. I think these guys are really just scratching the surface of their potential.
Isaac misses. Toronto, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. D, guarded by Fultz. Here's D. It's blocked.
Excellent timing that time from Fultz. And I like the edge that he plays defense with. That's impressive for a young guy.
Isaac passes to Fultz. And the 3 off target.
You know, he just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime.
And why not? A little salt in the wound. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys reeling and on the ropes.
Now, here's Fultz. So it looks like the Magic will retain possession here.
An elite rim protector, Ibaka has the highly desired combination of athleticism and time.
Fred Patrick McCaw, he's checked in for the Raptors. D comes in for Fred VanVleet, then for the Magic. Bamba is checked in for Vucevic. Aminu comes in for Gordon. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Isaac. Here's Fultz. Pass to Aminu. Kicks to Ross. The pass to Fournier. Passes to Aminu. To end the drought. Misses off the left iron.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And, you know, they've got to be careful because this is when the team concept breaks down and guys start playing hero ball.
So on the floor for Orlando, Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. Fournier out there with Aminu, and it's Bamba in at the center position. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Pass to Aminu. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Magic shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here. And the technical free throw is good. Clark, over the last couple decades, the role of the big man has changed and required more skill. Outside shooting among them.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And then the ability to move your feet defensively.
Yes.
Because the three-point shot spaces the floor so much. And a lot of times teams will have 4, maybe 5 perimeter shooters out there regardless of size. So big guys, if they're going to play in that type of an alignment, have to be able to move their feet and effectively guard perimeter players and also make shots from the perimeter as well.
Amazing to see guys that big out there sometimes with a one-on-one with the guard, like on the 3-point line.
No doubt. And also the big guys, we've got a ton of them, Kevin, across the league that can really knock down the 3-point shot.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son, Philip, was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball." I think he will. Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report.
Man, I like the quick catch and release from Fultz. A confident shooter who's ready to fire as soon as he catches it.
Bobs it up for Ibaka. It's deflected. Stolen by Bamba. And now Orlando on the break. Here's Ross. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And Siakam throws it down.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard.
Guys, it is symbolic of their effort here tonight.
Fultz kicks to Aminu. Dishes it to Ross. From the baseline. Unable to get that one. Now Toronto takes it the other way. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
Well, it's really hard to stop them when they're in a groove offensively, and they were in a comfort zone all game long in that one.
Here's Fultz. Once again off the mark, Orlando. And here's Toronto. They're on a 15-6 run. And Siakam throws it down.
And, you know, we can't measure heart. I mean, he's not as big as the other power forwards, but his jumping ability and mindset is incredible.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Now here's Fultz. Not a lot of room. Makes the shot. Basket number 4 this game. Brings him up to 4 for 9.
And, you know, Fultz has great control on these floaters. Not an easy shot, but he makes it look easy.
D, guarded by Fultz. Goes to the reverse layup and taps it in. 8 points for D.
That was a strong pick. Ammonia strong by Ibaka.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors holding a big 18.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K. It's Toronto with the advantage at the half. They are in control of this game, up by 18. What'd you think about Orlando?
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settled for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You know, Markelle Fultz has been exceptional here, guys.
What a welcome surprise that first half. Went above and beyond his usual scoring output.
Well, you know what? They've given him an increased role tonight, and he's taken full advantage of it.
The Magic trailed by 18. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Norman Powell is out there with D. And it's Johnson in at the 3. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Here's T. No good on that one. Great D that time from Vucevic. The Magic shooting just 29% in this game. They are not a pretty sight out there offensively. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And over time, Vucevic has really developed a nice pump fake. And that often leads to him earning trips to the foul line. Well, we've seen Vucevic expand his offensive repertoire, guys, adding to his old school post game. He's now demonstrating perimeter shooting and playmaking ability, and that's opening some eyes.
And Clark, as Vucevic has stepped out from that mid-range to beyond the arc, it's paying dividends.
Yeah, not only is he shooting the three-point shot when he steps out there, but it spaces the floor and opens up things for his teammates, and he's proven himself to be a pretty good passer. The face-up game, proving just as effective as his post-up game, which makes him a hard cover.
Pass to Gordon. Shoots. Now the pass to Fultz. Knocked away. And stolen by Siakam. Fast break Toronto. Always going up for the alley-oop here. Isaac with the steal. To the middle. Here's Gordon. And he lays it straight in. Gordon's got his second basket of the night.
Really easy to appreciate Isaac, Kevin. I mean, a solid teammate who's always ready to share the sugar.
Vucevic with the block. And they're able to recover. Siakam misses.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Fultz looking around. To the inside. And Vucevic with the basket on the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got his third assist on the night. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Raptors leading by 17. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. It's rebounded by Fultz.
Boy, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. And tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, you know, he's still listed at 6'10", but when you see him standing next to teammates, guys, Jonathan Isaac is clearly taller. By the time he's done growing, he's projected to be a 7-footer or north of that.
And Isaac doesn't want that 7-footer label. Something we've seen before with guys like Garnett and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I agree. There are a couple of things that go into that when you talk about guys not wanting to be listed at 7 feet. He grew up playing on the perimeter and still has an attachment to that part of his game. And then I think there's also the feeling if you're listed at 7 feet, you're going to get stuck inside. But even more than that, folks tend to look at you differently when you're a 7-footer because you appear to be out of the norm in a major way.
That one drops for him. D's got 10 points in the game.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
And sometimes that's the best policy when you're going up against a big guy. Take it to the 10. Right at him. Get to the rack.
Rob. And that one is hammered home.
We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special.
The circus dunk for you right there, guys.
And here's Fournier. He brings it up for the Orlando Magic, trailing by 19. Ball's knocked loose. Some solid defense from Ibaka.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result.
Wasted no time on that one. D's got 7 now in this quarter.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
So it's Orlando now. Left side Fournier. Pass to Isaac. Clock at 6. Pass to Ross. Looking to end the run. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Yeah, letting it rip. They're just having fun right now.
Yeah, offensively, they've just been rolling. Impossible to stop.
Magic have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Now a timeout called by Orlando. Clark, I'm going to get a little detailed here, but in terms of footwork in the post, who really impresses you?
Well, there are a number of guys, Kevin. I mean, you think about it. Kevin Durant is a lethal scorer and does a lot of his work off the dribble and in transition on pull-up threes. But when he is a post-up threat, and he does get posted sometimes, his footwork is superb. Absolutely superb. Joel Embiid comes to mind. Big fella with feet of a ballerina. Jokic does a great job with his feet, not nearly as athletic as Embiid or Durant. And then I would put Kawhi Leonard, outside of a big guy, I mean, he's not a big guy in terms of position, but boy, he is very efficient down in the low post when he gets it there.
Good names. Raptors leading by 21. Here's D, and the shot goes in. D's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Orlando, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Ross with a wide open look. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Raptors have gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. D, he's covered by Aminu. To the paint. Here's Ibaka, and another basket for Toronto.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
You know, they came out of the locker room, revved up the gas pedal, and haven't slowed down yet.
1:10 left to play here in the third. Feeds it to Fournier. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. That's 10 points for Evan Fournier. The Magic have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Pass to Fournier. Now here's Ross. And Ross with the slam.
And when Ross gets ahead of steam going to the rim, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of there.
D passes to Van Vliet. In the corner, Ibaka with it. There's the pass to D. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Both teams will make substitutions. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Orlando's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Augustine finds Vucevic. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
You know, he was the 16th pick in the 2011 NBA draft, and Vucevic became an All-Star for the first time in 2019. Took him a while.
Some changes for Toronto. Anunoby, he's checked in for Ibaka. Johnson comes in for Hollis Jefferson, and it's D in for Fred Van Vliet. Time to change for the Magic. Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Fultz.
And with that one, it ends an 11-0 run by Orlando.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. On the court for Orlando, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Augustine and Fournier are the backcourt tandem. And it's Aminu in at the 3 spot. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
That one misses for Fournier.
And in a relatively short time, Fournier has really increased his role in the league. I mean, he's a player you have to guard and keep an eye on at all times.
It puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on him.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
And Vucevic kicks to Isaac. Knocks it loose. Lobs it up for Ibaka. And Ibaka slams it in.
And the slithery agility of Ibaka. Not many guys can go up with him to stop the catch and dunk.
The Magic trail by 14. Down low, Siakam. And Siakam throws it down.
That's
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense. Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Toronto Raptors.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
And here's Fultz. Inside, here's Fournier. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got assist number 7 for him tonight. Raptors leading by 14. Here's D. Powell in the high post. Clark, a lot of fans ask us what qualifies as a legal screen versus a moving screen. They feel there's a lot of gray area there. What do you think?
Well, I think there is some gray area because the problem you have, one of the problems is a number of veterans out there have become really masters at getting a little extra into their screen, which borders on illegal and many times is. So the league is doing a pretty good job of clarifying. If you're moving your lower or upper body to help a teammate with your screen, then that should be called. And most times it is called as illegal. A hip check, a shoulder, any of that to set a screen is illegal.
And Orlando making a change here. Ross is checked in.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Raptors.
You know, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside, and that was working all game long.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You love to get an opponent figured out early, and you're going to be seeing them that often.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for D.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Orlando's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. To the paint. Here's Fultz. Rebound by the Raptors. And stolen by Gordon. To the left side wing. No one near Fultz as he lets it go. The wing jumper off target. And Toronto has possession. The lead is 15. D. He's guarded by Ross. Just 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range, kept alive. Ibaka, the pass to Siakam. Launches a 3, connects from three-point range.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they've given their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get.
UK Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Up next. And you've got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in DA. Take it away.
Well, guys.
Yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. And our early season power rankings, of course, a lot should change over the course of the year, but this is where we stand now. Taking a look at Cleveland. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And I think for the Raptors, they're just so locked in right now. It doesn't matter who they're playing. I know it's still early in the season, but they may turn out to be the team to beat.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Jackson and Kennard pair up at the 1 and the 2. And it's Doumbouya in at the 3 spot. And for Toronto, Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Powell is out there with D. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Now here's Drummond. And it's blocked by Ibaka. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. Shot from the inbound. Outside Jackson. Shot clock at 3. From deep. Adjusting to the NBA game for this latest class of rookies, Doris. Always growing pains, a feeling out process. It's always interesting to watch that being put together.
There are, Kev. There always seem to be a couple of welcome to the NBA moments as a rookie. Certainly you might take your lumps here and there, but this is a talented young group. Can't wait to see what they do.
I can't either. And Detroit has possession after the Raptors pick up 2. Here's Griffin, and he hits the jumper for 2.
Probably wasn't the shot they were looking for, but they'll take the bucket.
And it's the Raptors ball. Here's D. Drains it from beyond the arc. D's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Griffin. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Indiana.
Boy, just 1 for 4. A little brisky right now.
Toronto, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. D, guarded by Jackson. D passes to Johnson. To Siakam. Shoots over Griffin. And again, it's Toronto converting.
Boy, they came ready to play. That's 4 straight buckets to start the game.
Jackson looking it over. Picked him clean. Now the Raptors moving it up for the finish. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Here's Kennard. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Indiana.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Now here's Griffin. 9-point game. 6 to shoot. Jackson misses.
Yet another miss. Just 1 for 5. Not exactly an ideal start.
Lobs it up for Ibaka, and Ibaka slams it in.
And Ibaka can really get up on these lob attempts. Great at finishing strong when he's near the rim.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. And the call will be against D. That is his first foul of the game. Up top, Griffin, covered by Siakam. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Powell, the pass to D. Tipped away. Stolen by Jackson. Down low. Here's Doumbouya. Drummond trying to get himself free. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Johnson. The Pistons shooting their first free throws of this. That's good from Doumbouya. And some changes here for the Raptors. Raptors also changing it up. Johnson, he's checked in for Siakam. Norman Powell comes in for Patrick McCaw. And it's D in for Fred VanVleet. Throw no good for Drummond. Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
Hollis, Jefferson, and Ibaka together inside. D out there with Powell. And it's Johnson in at the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. Tips it up, and Drummond is right there. Drummond's got 5 points so far.
Pursues the offensive glass with purpose. Drummond knows who he is, and boy, does he attack it.
Here's D, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
The Raptors have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
That free throw, no good. The 2018 rookie class has been something to watch, Doris. Talent at the top, but also some terrific mid-round picks.
No question. Landry Shamet is a guy who I think can be a clutch, big-time scorer who does not seem bowed by any moment, doesn't seem to be affected by pressure. Mitchell Robinson had one of the great shot-blocking seasons in New York Knicks history. I know the team didn't have success, but as a second-round guy, Mitchell Robinson could have an awfully long career.
And so here's Toronto. After Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple.
Love seeing a point guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better finish.
Boy, it's incredible incredible how much explosive scoring ability can come from the lead guard position. That is a big-time play.
Now here's Jackson, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And a chance now to look at the schedule coming up for the Toronto Raptors. On Saturday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. Then on Wednesday, they'll tip off a homestand starting with the Sacramento Kings.
And Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
And he can't get the first one.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
So he comes up empty, missing both.
Selected 9th overall in the 2012 draft, Drummond's carved out a nice NBA career for himself.
It's Drummond with the rebound. Pistons have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Powell against Jackson, buried from 15 feet out. Jackson's got 7 points.
Well, you like that he shakes off that rocky first period and knocks down a shot. Nice.
Here's D. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. D's got the game tied up here for Toronto. Last outing for Toronto, they won that game against the Magic.
Yeah, in that game, I thought they took advantage of some sloppy play, but give them credit. They turned mistakes into... Oh, goodness. Wow. Hey, guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of player. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Got a piece of it. They recover it. Drummond, second shot opportunity.
Boy, still a dependable shot blocker. That is what got Serge Ibaka playing time at the beginning of his career. Nice.
And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big time play on both ends.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Jackson drives in, and the shot goes in. Jackson's got 9 points in the quarter.
Well, it looks like he has put that rough first quarter in the rear view. He's starting to cook here in the second.
Pass to Powell. Johnson with it. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's D. And again, it's Toronto converting.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Well, what did them in was all the missed free throws. It could have been a much...
Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for Detroit. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, how's...
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far? And that's a wrap.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. We're seeing tremendous gameplay from D.
That first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape was just destroying the rim.
Yeah, this guy, he plays fast, he's aggressive, and if you let him get to the cup, there is nothing that you can do about it.
On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Kennard pair up at the 1 and the 2. On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. And it's Doumbouya in at the 3 slot.
Big hops from the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe just what they need to get this game, GA, going in their direction.
Boy, as tight as this one is, that's a statement play saying, hey, listen, we're not here to back down from you guys. Well, think about it, guys. For years, the Raptors have been unable to translate all of that regular season success to dominance in the playoffs. But last season, they changed that narrative. Now it's, excuse me, we are the defending champion Toronto Raptors.
And the shot is good. D's got 23.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And here's Jackson. He's got 13. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Takes a 3. And another field goal in his total. Make it 7 for 14, shooting 50%. And then focus on playoff results, Doris, something that Toronto embraced, wouldn't you say?
Oh, my goodness, no doubt. We saw it in their methodical approach to the regular season. They were selective with their rest for Kawhi Leonard. They stayed patient. They built chemistry. And it turned into results, the ultimate results in June.
Griffin against Siakam. Griffin down low. No good that time. Good D by Siakam.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. Trailing by 2. They get to take on the Bulls at Chicago after this one. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Knocked away. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. A 3-pointer off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's D. Plays it up and banks it in. Now it's a 4-point Raptor lead.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Passes it to Drummond. The 11-footer, and it's off the back rim, no good. Toronto, they've gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. And Siakam throws it down.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
And the move back to his more natural 5 position has rejuvenated Serge Ibaka. More room to operate offensively, and defensively he can stay in the paint where he's effective.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
We sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Galloway sinks the three-pointer. Galloway has got 11 points. And Ibaka's shooting ability, Doris, had enabled him to play some power forward, but his mobility was being tested.
Correct, because at Ibaka's size, it's tough to ask him to chase smaller guys around the perimeter. He is much better suited playing inside and protecting the rim. I think you saw that last season.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. At the break in the action, we've got a chance now to look at last year's top rebounders. Number 1, Andre Drummond.
And, you know, he took a lot of pride in being at the top of that rebounding list. When all was said and done, he was a man among boys.
The Raptors have made 3 of 5 free throw attempts. No good on that one. A lot of switching on every possession in the NBA from a defensive standpoint, and you see the way Doris offenses are adjusting to that.
Yeah, I think number one, you have to attack the switch. That's first and foremost. And it's an interesting balance between attacking and being patient. Because the one thing you're ultimately seeking in every switch is a favorable matchup for yourself. That's where a critical thinking guard who knows where to find and put the ball is so critical to your success.
That's a good way to look at it.
Adjustments are a part of the game, and the coach sees something he doesn't like here.
Well, this is a chess match. Looking ahead a few moves and trying to execute toward that.
Rose with the ball. The pass to Drummond. And it's blocked.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
There's Hollis Jefferson, and it's sent back by Drummond.
A high motor keeps Drummond engaged defensively. He doesn't.
A new group in now for the Raptors. Serge Ibaka has checked in for OG Anunoby. Johnson comes in for Hollis Jefferson. Norman Powell's checked in for Patrick McCall. And it's D in for Fred VanVleet. Then for the Pistons, Griffin's checked in for Drummond. Doumbouya comes in for Christian Wood. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Luke Kennard. Rose gets a wide open look. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Boy, with his shot not falling right now, it might be time to look in a different direction. See if you can get your teammates started.
Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Norman Powell is out there with D. And it's Johnson in at the 3. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Jackson has the open look. Off target from outside. Raptors with the lead. Pass to D. From deep three-point range, and the Raptors hit again from deep.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Detroit's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Rose scanning the floor. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Rose. Jackson's got 6 points in the quarter.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
And he uses the glass on the layup. Jackson's got 11 in the second half.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Has the ability to score against size, and those were crucial.
Here's D. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
He misses the free throw. Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Luke Kennard comes in for Derrick Rose. Good on the second free throw.
And really, if not for the miss, they'd be sitting in a much better position.
Jackson kicks to Doumbouya. Now Drummond, pass to Griffin, to the middle. Here's Jackson. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Jackson's got it all tied up now for Detroit.
And this is why Griffin is so valuable to his team. Always willing to share the rock.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Yeah, easy call.
First one falls for him. He hits both from the stripe.
And he's had his troubles at the line tonight. Unfortunately, that's nothing new. Just glad he was able to convert right there.
And that one is good.
A tall and powerful big. Drummond has a natural ability to finish inside.
Guarded by Jackson. Uses the glass to finish the layup. D's got 40 points. Now here's Griffin. .144 left in the fourth quarter. Lobbed up there for Drummond.
Drummond, a huge target rolling to the rim.
1:41 left in the fourth quarter. D, guarded by Jackson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Sekou Doumbouya. He drops the first one, and that gives them the lead. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in.
Yeah, he gets them the lead at the free throw line despite the one miss.
And they take the lead. And the Pistons lead by one.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Ibaka, wide open, he finds. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper.
Oh, my goodness. Serge Ibaka with the killer instinct in an important situation. Love it.
Detroit's gotten 3 of their 6 three-pointers to fall here in the fourth. Here's Griffin. He kicks it to Doumbouya. There's Jackson with the 3. A putback. It's in!
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Here's D. Shot clock reset for Toronto. And it's in there.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Okay, Greg, to me, more often than not, when you attack, good things happen.
Time called here. Pistons decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 1. 50 seconds left in the fourth. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, D.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Dwayne Casey talk to his team. He told them, look, guys, we're running out of time. If we're going to make a move, it's got to be now. Are you guys ready to make a move? They all nodded, and he said, then go take it, Kevin.
They're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
And it's sent back by Drummond. Jackson against Siakam. Baseline jumper. It falls. This could be a turning point.
Critical possession right here.
There's a 4-second difference from the shot.
Oh!
You got to be kidding.
And they still have a foul to give at this point.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 1. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
This is where great coaching can pay dividends.
Well, this is a chance to take the lead, so you've got to draw the play to make it happen.
And here's Jackson. Passes it to Drummond. Here's Kennard. No good from three-point territory. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, you can't let him hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
It's the first. That will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a three-point attempt. A three and nothing but a three will do here.
You've got to keep your composure and execute to get a quality look from 3.
And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.